I've become much more convinced that the key to really being successful as a writer, especially if you're trying to get your foot in the door, is simply longevity. It's simply a matter of outlasting the others. Admittedly, in the writing game, it's a bit more about outlasting yourself. That's kind of the beauty of it, is that it's there's no actual competition in a real sense. It's you versus your rejections. How many rejections can you take before you stop? That's what this whole process is, and the key is longevity. It's being able just to stay in longer than your excuses, longer than your rejections, longer than that voice inside of you that's telling you, man, you're getting rejected, it's not going to work out, you picked the wrong field, cut your losses and get out. All right, that's what it is all about. At least I think so. And so for me, it's all about longevity, and the trick to this writing every day is maintain that longevity. And the way I do it is I'm not killing myself every day here at the keyboard. I talk about trying to go for 90-minute sessions, which is awesome. This month is going to be really laid back, so I don't think I'll be getting as many of those, but we'll see. But I'm not killing myself. I'm not murdering myself every day at this keyboard. I'm not going for 3-hour stretches. I'm not going for 2,000 words a day, what have you. It's being consistent with showing up and consistent with the work, but it's not stretching beyond the point that I can't kind of recover for the next day. And since writing is not like a physical activity, you do have, I think, a greater capacity to work. I think you do have a much greater chance, I think, of pushing yourself in this than, say, an athlete might, because you don't have any kind of physiological restrictions, right? Muscles actually take a physical amount of time to recover. With writing, it's simply mental here, and we've all felt it. We've all felt those days where we're completely exhausted and we can't write, and certainly those are going to happen. But those aren't as frequent, I don't think, as many people think. But with that, even knowing that, I'm still not killing myself here at the keyboard. What you're seeing is a very good output, a very respectable output by an author. That's what you're seeing. At the end of the year, when I tally up everything I did for the year, you'll see that what I pulled off is a fair amount, probably more than most writers, certainly more than most aspiring writers, do. But it's not extremely high. It's not an extremely high number. I'm showing up. I'm getting my words in for the day. I'm paying my toll most days, enjoying it. Some days, just kind of carrying myself through it begrudgingly. But it's getting done. And that's really the idea here, is to not kill yourself. If you're going after this, do not, don't go for these long, really intense days and then not be able to write for the next few. You're better off being very consistent at hitting 300 words a day than one day a week hitting, the 1,500 words or something like that, or 2,000 words. Consistency and slow progress every day is going to be far, far better. The human body stretches at a very small increment, and if you can but once you can get to that point and maintain it, you get into those flow states much, much better, I think, with these projects. And so that's what it's all about, is just maintaining that and not stressing myself too much. With that being said, I mentioned that now I have my Wednesdays off, so my Wednesdays are getting a bit more intense again. I'm starting to make those more of my old school days, as it were, the kind that I was on my sabbatical. But again, you're not going to see myself completely getting fried here going through this. And so again, if you're going through this process, understand slow and patient persistence every day is going to be much better than these very sporadic sort of sort of ordeals. It's a bit like in those action movies where you see like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like maybe in like Predator or something like that, right? Or just you see a guy firing these machine guns, like where they're firing tons of rounds, right? They fire hundreds of rounds into this area, and they kill a couple people. And it's like, yeah, you got your target, right? But you wasted all these rounds. You need to be much more persistent. It's more like being a sniper. It's more like being someone who's very dialed in. We're not going to waste 1,000, 100 rounds here. We're going to dial in that one target, lock in on it, and with one bullet, take out our objective, right? It's the same thing. Being persistent, being very slow, and focusing on your one goal is much, much better. That sporadic sort of writing, that sporadic sessions, those really intense sessions that you have, that are infrequent. That's a bit like the machine gun there, right? You're wasting a lot of energy just to maybe try and get the same amount as a very persistent and very dialed individual, or a very dialed in individual might have. With just focusing on that one goal and approaching it slowly every day. And so, yeah, those are the wisdom for today. With that, I will be back tomorrow, and thank you so much for watching this.